Hi there, welcome to the stellar Wyckoff technical analysis session, and let's go into the chart and quickly see where Stellar is heading. So last week we put in a question asking whether Stellar is going to come back up for a second test, or is it going to head down from the LPSY towards the sign of weakness. As of this moment, it seems it's still trading a bit horizontal but towards the downside. So just this week it has broken below this light blue key level of 41 cents. So this is a level that's been drawn with multiple references back to all the way as early as 2018. So this is quite a significant level that so far the bulls hasn't been able to defend. So they're trying to defend at a level around 40 cents because during late July, early August, the price went to that level and briefly challenged this yellow dashed line. So it seems like the bulls are trying to keep, or the whales are trying to keep the price between the yellow dashed line and the light blue key level. Not sure for how long we can keep that, because if we look at the volume has been dropping quite significantly. So it seems that the selling isn't that crazy after this price surge back in first week of July. However, these long wicks here is a bit worrying for the bulls, because those means whenever the price went to those levels, sorry, I have to move it a little bit because the disclaimer is blocking it, so might as well, while we're here, I just move the disclaimer a bit because it has been blocking things quite a bit on and off, so that should be better. So what I'm saying is here, basically, that these wicks, these longer wicks up here, means significant selling whenever the price comes to those levels. So initially it failed twice, actually 3 times, when this green bar happened, that this dark blue level is very strong resistance showing 0.475, and it continued for 6 weeks in total. So this was the first challenge, second challenge failed, third, fourth doesn't even challenge that level, fifth and sixth. So 6 times for 6 weeks the bulls has been failing to challenge that level, and as of now there is no squeeze. That squeeze happened and the energy has been released already up there, but it's likely building up for another squeeze. It may take a few more weeks, but if it really continues to trade sideways, that squeeze will continue and it will basically push the price for a bigger move. So as of this moment, it looks to me it's trying to come down to show us a sign of weakness still, unless it successfully breaks above the key light blue level. So this is like 30% chance, I would say. This is like maybe 70% chance now. Let me put it here and see whether that's the case when we come back next week. And to the daily chart. Here, daily, we see, well, again, sort of like a new downward trend forming. So after the sign of second test, and then we asked last week, is it going to show us a sign of weakness? And it indeed come down to the sign of weakness level. So it has already gone below the first sign of weakness back in late July. The second one earlier this month was at the yellow dashed line level. Currently it's still above it, but it's not optimistic because 2 days, including today, the price has failed to climb above the light blue key level. So this, the chance of getting here is getting slimmer if it doesn't continue to go that way. So this is actually not a second test now. This is actually an LPSY at a similar level compared to the LPSY right there back in late July. So I've drawn this white dashed line over here. That's the level extended from the automatic reaction, as well as this LPSY over here. And this time, this peak for 7 days, it failed to close above this line. So yeah, the bulls has failed to break above this resistance, and now the price comes down. So it's like telling us a story saying that there's insufficient demand supporting, or like insufficient people FOMOing in to support the price to climb further. So that's why in the weekly chart I put in 30% for the upside and 70% towards the downside. So this, while I put in the SOW tag, I should add back in the question mark because this may not be the lowest point for this sign of weakness. So when time goes on, it may come down to test the yellow dashed line. I need to extend this because the volume we need to check really. Yeah, while the red bars aren't that crazy, is still not very optimistic for the bulls, especially the thing that I mentioned. I just want to quickly check the counter squeeze here as well. So the purple lines are getting flatter, and it may be, so there was a squeeze that happened here back in middle of this month, and then the price came down. As of now, well, another squeeze may be coming if this continue to trade in a narrow range between the yellow dashed line and the light blue line. So by next session, the squeeze may have already formed. So be careful about some wild ride in between. Hopefully it's only going to show us a sign of weakness, and then maybe another LPSY before it comes down to a preliminary support level all the way towards like an accumulation cycle. So right now it's somewhere in between, but heading towards the downside. And just quickly, you know what I usually do is to check the downtrend. So just to keep this box at the daily interval, not to mess up the weekly chart. So this downward trend, just want to quickly check the line. Okay, it looks okay to me. So just enlarge it a little so I can keep the wick inside the box as well. So here, what we're seeing is potentially a downward trend. What the price is currently doing is basically these boxes is not just like a food box, it's like a football field where you can draw a center line across. So these center lines doesn't have to be exactly cutting the box in 50%. It basically checks where the frequent touch points were. So meaning if there are some peaks within the box, over here, now we're getting to the third one, that's the place for where we place the center line, and it's going to tell us, indicate to us, a price may get rejected at the center line level before it even goes to the ceiling of the box. So it is an intermediate level you can consider. Whether it's resistance or support, it depends on where the price is. If the price is above, it's a support. If the price is below, like what we're seeing now, it's a resistance. So it's not only the light blue resistance that the bulls are trying to fight, it's also this center line that the bulls are or have to fight as well. So that's why you're seeing this red pin over here is not touching the light blue because it hasn't even gone above the white dashed line yet. So in the next few days, we're getting closer and closer, right? So if it follows the downtrend and also this white dashed line towards the yellow dashed line, there isn't much time for this to reveal. So August 29th is the tip of this triangle between the center line and the yellow dashed line. So by then, either it has to rebound from the sign of weakness, that's scenario 1, or it's going to keep going down following this white box, and that's probably the time where we see the preliminary support. So again, end of this month, August, is a very interesting month, including as well early September. So we're going to see some very important moves for a lot of altcoins, whether they're going to die down from this, what people consider altcoin season. It's going to be revealed very soon. So I think I've covered everything